Hi, Jenny here. Today is Tuesday, January 9th. So last update I did was January 2nd, last Tuesday. How about that? It's been a week. Instead of on Fridays, I've got to Tuesday. So, yeah, there's been a few things that have happened since last Tuesday. I was thinking about making a video the one day, and I'm like, well, no, I wanted to wait till my Monday doctor appointment, and then something else happened. I'm like, I could make a video. I'm like, oh, I want to wait till after Monday's doctor's appointment. So, pretty much as you can see, I'm sitting. Woo! So yes, we'll get to that, but I have been cleared to sit for little bits of the day. So this will be my second of the sittings for today. So gotta be less than half an hour. Anyways, so yeah, since last Tuesday, not much went on for the first few days. Friday was my last blood thinner shot, so excited for that. I was like, yay, no more shots. I thought about videotaping that to show you how that all really went, but my husband was like, no, that's okay. Like, you can't see anything anyway, and I'm like, and he's the one giving me the shot. I thought, yeah, pretty much I haven't looked for for any of them. I pick an area, I would like feel my thigh. Now again, this is me personally. For the blood thinner shots, you can either have them in your I'm standing, can you see? Ooh. But you can have them in your thigh area, so up in your hip or your upper thigh, or your stomach, or like the back of your arm. So for me personally, I didn't mind the hip, so they're giving them to me in the hospital. My stomach was like totally taped up anyways. There was nowhere to go with a shot for there. And last time I was in the hospital, I know they gave me those couple in the hip. Sometimes I felt them, sometimes I didn't. And so then even when Wayne was giving them to me at home, it seemed like the higher up in my hip, I would feel it less. Now again, that's just me. Maybe different for for you guys, but sharing my experience. Again, that's what this is all about. Yeah, so that was that. So we're done with those shots. I'm super grateful that I don't have to do that every day. I feel for diabetics that have to poke their finger and get their sugar levels and then to give themselves a shot multiple times a day. Obviously, again, it's something you get used to, you have to, but it's just not fun. And I believe I've heard people say that there too, once, if you're on it for years, that you can also build up callus like areas that you don't really feel it anymore and stuff like that. So there's that. For me, I'd have a couple areas where, like I said, I would feel it. I'd have a little purple dot, a little bit of bruising, but otherwise I was okay. Really wasn't that much fluid. It was a small needle. So once in a while, if anything, sometimes I'd feel the little poke of the needle going in, but I wouldn't feel the fluid going in. But that's all done. So the good thing about that is hopefully with doing the bag changes, I will have less bleeding, because that will, one, heal up now better and do clot faster. And so that'll be good. And then also when we were doing my butt dressing changes, I know when Wayne was taking out the old dressing, there'd be a little area where it was sticking to me, where it was clotting. And as he pulled out the dressing, it would break that clot and I'd start bleeding. Again, not much, but it was a matter of, he'd pull it off and it would run a little bit. So, although we don't have to kind of worry about that either. So those were those last few days. Again, still tears pretty much every day, become less. And usually more so frustrated at whatever. Wasn't really, I don't know about the shot. Still more frustrated of just trying to be comfortable. The whole stomach area, again, the abdomen area being a little sensitive. More of that, trying to be comfortable at night, trying to sleep. More of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was thinking maybe still shoving a few just last night at bedtime. So anyway, so this weekend, Saturday, we didn't do much. Sunday, my husband asked if I wanted to take a walk outside, and I thought, oh yeah, I've kind of got enough energy and stuff, so we could do that. So I did. I put on some shoes. I think I just wore my Crocs and my fuzzy socks on or whatever, but to put on my winter coat and hat and gloves. And it was okay out. It was dry and all that. So we took a walk and figured that we'd get down to the end of our units and come back. And I thought, well, I was feeling actually pretty good. I didn't have any pain. So I thought, well, let's kind of keep going. But keeping in mind, I also have to walk back. So for however far I get out, I've got to be mindful of not getting too tired or anything, that I could make it back. But we kept going down the path, and then I thought, okay, well, we'll turn around at the short path area and kind of like past my mom's place and come back up. And I made it all a good like 3/4 of the way. And as we were about heading back up to our place, then I was like, ooh, had just a little bit of, like a little dizziness kind of pass through, but I'm like, I'm okay, feeling okay. Weather-wise, it was good. It was a little cool. So with my winter coat and so I'm like, I should have put a little sweat jacket on too, which I did not. But so I don't know if this happens to you, but even just wearing like a regular shirt or whatever and having my coat on, the air still comes up under the coat and gets up to my stomach and makes me cold. So I always keep one hand like over my stomach or over, over the coat and over to, stop the wind from coming up. And so it was kind of funny. I'm like, while you're walking, I'm like, so weather-wise, it was okay. A tad cool for me, but we made it. We made it all the way back home and in. So that was the longest walk I've taken since surgery. And it was outside, got fresh air, and so that was so wonderful to get that in. And then on Monday, I had the post-op doctor's appointment for looking at the butt dressing. And so we're going to see where we were at. I kind of had it in my mind that I don't think it's healed enough, seeing as it was still kind of bleeding. Wayne wasn't seeing any difference in the healing process of what was going on. So I kind of already had in mind that I'm like, I'm probably going to have to sit for at least another week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe go that 6 weeks. Like I think I've mentioned before, I've read online that it can take up to 6 weeks for that area to heal. So I just figured, you know what, if they're going to say I can sit, bonus, extra happy. But if I can't sit yet, so be it. And so we got in there and I was fine this time. I just took regular Tylenol. I didn't take Tramadol. So the ride was fine. Going in was fine. Again, it was kind of hard to stand for a while. So they have some bigger chairs in the office. And so I sat sideways on one of those, and again, to kind of put my head down, kind of rested on the arm of the chair and stuff. So they called us into the office. I laid down on their little exam table again. Actually had the surgeon poke his head in the room and wondered if the nurse was there yet. And I was like, not yet. And he was like, I'm going to come in with her. Because I was like, I just want to thank you again for everything you've done and all that. He said, I'll be back. And I'm like, okay. So he did. The nurse came in and he came in, with her. And so that was very nice. It was very nice to know that kind of like he cared. He wanted to, see his work again and make sure probably what he's doing and how things look. And, in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, for his own knowledge, that's what I would like to do, right? You want to see what you're doing, how it works, just get all that information in your mind for future cases. Or so they looked at the stomach area. I still had those steri strips on and everything, so he took those off. And I was like, they were kind of sticking. The water of the shower, instead of making them fall off, almost made them stick a little more. So he kind of peeled a little bit of it up, and I was like, ooh, and he's like peeling something, like, ow, and he's just like, sorry about that, and I just kind of started laughing, and he's like, just kind of ripped it off. And then I still had my one drain covering on too, and that was like a quarter of the way off, so she kind of took that off, which didn't hurt as bad, but a little bit of hair under that one. Could feel it coming up. But so that was all good, and they looked at it like, oh yeah, that area they were happy with, looked good. And then look at the butt. So again, as opposed to putting on a gown, seeing as, you have to stand and whatever, I just dropped my drawers again. I'm sitting there. They just kind of put a gown kind of over me, so like I wasn't so exposed. I'm like, it's only my husband. He sees everything. He changes my dressings, because they close the curtain a little bit, whatever. I'm like, he can see. This is like, we'll close them. I'm like, I can't see the door. So anybody that's coming in that door is not going to see me. It's fine. And so they were fine. So they did that. She took out the dressing that, we just put it in the morning. It was bleeding just a little bit. But they were both like, oh yeah, that looks really good. That's healed up a lot. So they were happy with that, which is awesome. Because again, we don't know what we're, looking at. That it's kind of like, okay, it's, whereas they see this all the time. So they know what they're looking for. And yay, it was healed up that to the point where they wanted. So we still have dressings to do. Going back to like kind of what I was doing in the hospital, there's this adaptic stuff, which is a square, yeah, my notes, a square about this big. And we just kind of like put a finger, we're gonna fold it in half and then shove it in my butt crack to where that area is. So it's not bad. It's not tucking it in any, crevices or anything. It's a matter of just putting this up against it. And again, I wear an overnight pad, so it goes up further, so it covers my butt area that will catch any leakage or anything. Or I have those pads from the hospital I can put in there. Because it's not in any crevices or anything, though, just kind of laying up against there. Pretty much every time I go to the bathroom, it falls off, and I have to put a new one on. So because of Wayne being at work, and it's kind of like, all right, well, this one's on me. So I've taken to kind of learn from, I watch this channel called Let's Talk IBD with Maggie. And I kind of found her channel when I had ileostomy and learned a bunch of stuff on doing bag changes and ileostomy care from her channel. And I just like her and her husband Zach, and they're good people. Nice channel to watch. A lot of very informational. She is a nurse, and so again, she also has all that extra knowledge besides her own knowledge of her own body and stuff going on. So she had to go through. She went through the proctocolectomy, which again I also watched on some information on that. And she had a year's worth of trying to get her wound to heal. She had a lot of leakage and stuff like that. But she talked about putting a mirror on her toilet and looking at her butt and being able to do the dressing changes. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. So last night I just had Wayne watch to make sure that I was covering the right area and stuff. So I put the mirror in my bathroom and I put my little gauze on my butt, and it worked, so that's fine. So I did that already once this morning, so got that taken care of, so I know how to do that now. And we'll have another appointment again in 2 weeks. But because it's looking so good, they've cleared me for sitting, so woo. And she said, so how does this work? I said, last appointment you said sitting for like half an hour 3 times a day. I'm assuming that'll go for a couple days, and then maybe if I do like a sit for an hour, or if I go more amount of times. And she's like, I feel you. She goes, I wish we had a chart, but we don't. She goes, I'm a type A personality. I would like it, this is how it goes, boom, 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 check them off, and my husband's like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's me, totally. That's yes, I would like a list. What do I do? How many times? What times? What? So that was very cute. I love it. We bonded that way too. That was just so me. She goes, can't tell you for sure. So she goes, start off doing half an hour 3 times a day. So maybe for eating, and then just kind of see how it feels, see how much pain you're in or whatever. So maybe go less. Or if you're having drainage, if you have more drainage output, cut back on the amount of time, and stuff like that. So had a little guidance anyways. So for 1 week, we're gonna try like the 3 times a day, 30 minutes at a time. And then next week, I can either try to go up to an hour, or probably more likely do like 6 times of 30 minutes. Or something like that. So last night actually after we got home and I had something to eat, it was 1 in the morning, so it was lunchtime. So I'm like, hey, I can sit. So I did on soft surfaces, so like on the couch or on a lounge chair. And otherwise, like on kitchen chair, I have a waffle pillow. So again, learned this from Maggie. She had that on her ride home, but as opposed to a donut, I think they actually mentioned a donut, which I'm surprised, because from what I've heard, with donuts being round, it puts pressure on that middle area. So it puts pressure on your anus, and it could spread it apart, so that the waffle pillow distributes your weight more. So anyways, I'm using that. Still a little painful. But, I said I sat for about 30 minutes yesterday for lunch, and then at dinner last night I sat for about 20 minutes at the couch. The couch was a little more painful. I think at lunchtime I sat on the waffle pillow at the computer. And then dinner time was the couch. And then this morning I sat for about 30 minutes at the computer doing a little bit of editing, a little video work. And And then I think I sat like for 10 minutes as I was kind of eating a little bit of a snack, a lunch snack. I had some pretzel. My husband bought the same. If you've seen them in the store, you know the Auntie Annie's pretzels? Well, increase that by 10. I'm sure you've seen them maybe at the bars or maybe some at festivals or whatever, but they sell these things as big as a plate. My husband found those in the grocery store the other day. And my one daughter loves Auntie Annie's pretzels. So he's like, you want one of those? So he brought one home. Baked it up the other day. It was very good fresh the first day. Of course, then you put it in a baggie and then it gets kind of moist in there. And I was figuring, well, my daughter may not be eating some leftovers, so I'm trying to whittle that away and eat a little bit of that. So I had a little bit of that for lunch and kind of sat for like 10 minutes. I thought, okay, I'll kind of gauge my time, even still maybe even sitting for little spurts like that. And then I knew I wanted to videotape today. And these usually take me 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So kind of biding my time here. I thought, all right. Let's see how long. I know I had a lot to talk about again, even though it doesn't seem like much happened, there's enough that happened that I'd be talking. So in any case, yes, so I am sitting, so that's okay, and then she'll see me again in 2 weeks time, so the 22nd again, I have like another appointment that we'll go back again, and I'll check it out and see how I'm doing. So I don't know how long that's gonna go, as far as them checking me out and seeing how it is, if we're still going to go every couple of months until they feel it's completely healed or what. I guess we'll find out at the next appointment. But that's good. That's all right. So yeah, so we're very happy about that. Again, once a good appointment. I asked about the sensitivity of my abdomen area, so whether you guys know or not, because although granted the plastic surgeon did cut this muscle, and that was muscle he used to put, which gave me the stomach cut. I don't know how much he knows as far as the aftermath of that. I think maybe he would have figured, could ask, who knows if they have answers or not again, but they deal with all this and they're the ones taking out the staples and stuff. So I said, I'm just I was hypersensitive of my shirt being on it or the blanket laying on it. So sometimes when I'm standing up and I'm walking around, I don't really feel my stomach, hence like taking the walk on Sunday, I felt good. But when I'm laying down and I have just a little pressure, it's like not even like touching with my hand, and like if I touch with my hand or two, I'll feel pain. But just having the shirt on there. And so the surgeon said, yeah, well, part of it is because of having cut all those nerves. They're little micro nerves. It's like part of, you have the mesh in there and you have stitches. I said, yeah, but it doesn't feel internal. It feels more surface. And so he said, yeah, because there's still all those little nerve endings that were cut. So that's part of why they were. It'll go away in time. But because you could do massage therapy. So the nurse, Emily, tell her about that. So he kind of left, and then she got us supplies to bring home and everything, and showed Wayne again about how to put the new dressings in and stuff. And then we asked about the massage, and she said, yeah, so if you have any of this, ouch, my shoulder still hurts, Aquaphor. So we got this lotion even from the radiologist and stuff. So anyways, yeah, take a little bit of this, and then she said, like, down my staple line to just kind of slowly, gently massage the whole area. And she said one that'll kind of let your skin know that it's okay for something to be touching it, that it's okay, you're not going to be hurting, it's not something bad. And secondly, that it'll help with the scar tissue buildup too, that it may, not really break it down per se, but make it less intense, less tight. That, there still will be scar tissue there, but it should be a little bit better. And then also over the drain sites, as she said, you may feel like a little bit of a pea-sized spot hardness there. She said, yeah, it's funny because where the first drain was pulled out, I could feel that. I had a scab on there for a little while, and then at some point I put pressed my hand on there, whatever, and I'm like, oh, there's like a hard spot. I'm like, oh, that's where the drain was. And where the other drain was pulled out, actually I almost have, because she took the dressing off now, I have almost like a little divot in my skin from that area. So that's interesting. Don't know if that'll stay that way, or if that'll kind of flatten out in time. Again, we'll see, or maybe it's my massaging. So I will try that. I haven't done that yet today. She said try to do it like twice a day. So that's on my list of things to do today. We'll try that and see how that goes. And it makes sense to me of kind of reteaching, teach the skin, reteaching the skin and brain, to brain connection there too, that it's okay for something to touch. Yeah, maybe that'll help it go away faster than just letting it go on its own. But we'll see how that goes. Other than that, Tylenol, I've kind of stopped taking it every 6 hours. Did that a couple days ago. Kind of thought, I'm like, well, let's see how this goes, if I do really need it, if I'm feeling any difference taking the Tylenol or not. Didn't really seem to be so much. But I figured, well, with yesterday having going to the doctor, I took it in the morning. I took it at bedtime to help me kind of sleep, because it seems too with sleeping I get some pain. But then I took it in the morning before going to the doctor, and then again I don't think I took it. I may have taken one yesterday afternoon after being home for a while. Otherwise I took it again at bedtime. Today I think I just took some before doing this, thinking, okay, I'm going to be sitting again. I know that hurts just a little bit, but so that'll go on for a little bit. But otherwise, that's nice too, that I'm not having to wake up in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. or whatever to have to take pain pills, which I've been doing, now that I think about it, for almost a year. I think I started that in February. So, wow, how about that? I was kind of looking forward to that day too of not doing that, which maybe that also explains it. I've been sleeping in the bed for the last few nights. I think I mentioned in the last video, I tried last weekend a little bit, made it a night or two, and then slept on the couch, and then tried again in bed, and I think again I slept on the couch another night last week. And this weekend again I thought, all right, I'm trying bed. And last night, that was part of my tears last night of after getting in bed, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a challenge to go to bed. And my husband started laughing, and he's like, not in a bad way. He's like, I'm sorry to laugh. He goes, but that's just funny. He goes, for everything you've been through, and you had this huge incision in your belly and all of that. He goes, and you didn't really complain about any of that stuff. You're complaining about that it's a challenge to go to bed. I'm like, well, okay, I guess so. But I'm like, but it's true of, being, having to do the stairs to go up there, which, I can do pretty good now. I'm okay. I don't have to lay down. I don't get winded or anything. But then having to take off my pants and my socks, socks are a little tighter, and then just the bending, and I'm not as limber and loose as I used to be. It's like bringing up, I think at least taking off the socks is a lot better and easier than putting on the socks. But it's still, because of the pain I'm having still in the side or whatever, my left leg is a lot harder than my right leg. So I could get the pants and then trying to get that off, and then getting in bed and laying down, and still my side has still been hurting. And at least for a good 5-10 minutes. Once I settle in, thank God the pain kind of goes away, so I can lay there and I can sleep. And I also thought of too, I said, well, now that I'm not really having to wake up at 1 a.m, maybe I'll sleep, because it's not going to be in my mind that I only have an hour and a half to sleep before I have to wake up again and go get some pain medicine. And so that has helped. That has helped. The last 2 nights I've slept, and it's been nice. Although the other night I found it funny. I told my girlfriend this. Then I said I was sleeping and I'm on my left side, and a lot of times, even though I'm okay when I wake up and I want to change position, and then I go to lay on my back, and then I get some sharp pains in the side. Again, seems more surface area, more like where the drains were, but whatever. And again, if I lay there for a while, it may go away, or then I try to go to my right side, and then on the right side, my left side still hurts again. It's almost like whatever's in is falling to the side, or it's like there's still kind of some pain there. And so it's just okay, just try to get comfortable, and then, fall asleep again. The other night, I was on my left side and everything, and then I rolled to my back, and I was feeling pain, and I'd been dreaming. And I, kind of woke up to rolled to my back, and I was thinking, and I'm like, I'm in pain. I'm dreaming that I'm in pain, and I'm in bed sleeping, rolling over. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm awake. This isn't a dream. I'm awake. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I fell asleep again for, I don't know, it seemed like, 10, 15 minutes or something. It seemed short. I woke up again, still had some pain in that side, and I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming. that I have this pain in my left side. I'm laying in bed and I was like, wait a minute, no, I'm still awake or I'm awake again. That this isn't a dream. This is, I'm like, okay. It's like, all right, settle down, body. It's okay. And change positions again. And then I was able to fall asleep again. But I just found that funny. So that's my update for now. Exciting life, I know. But again, this is what's going on with me. I know I've had some comments here and there again of other people going through some of the same stuff. So again, hopefully it gives you some insight into what might happen. Obviously, if you have questions or other things going on, or you have other pain, see your doctor, call your doctor. I love the app for me, the Live Well app for my doctors and everything, that I can write a message in there and I'll get a response within a couple hours, usually within a day if it's a holiday or whatnot. But I figure within 24 hours at most that they respond back, and whether they'll write me a message or sometimes they call, they think it's important enough or whatever, that they'll actually give me a phone call and make sure that I am okay, that do I need to be seen, what do I think. I love that you can put pictures in there, so that there too, it gives them a little bit of an idea of the concern that you're having. So they're not worried about viruses type stuff or whatever, because again, picture sometimes says it better than just your words can explain it. And again, they can see with their eyes and they know what they're looking at. And so again, seek real advice if you need it, but at least this gives you some information of what might happen, what could happen, what I'm going through, how it's going for me, maybe how it'll go for you. Love your comments, love reading all that, again, of things either you have gone through and that you've made it. Love that, people saying, oh yeah, I had drains in my stomach and had them out, and I know what that feels like, and all that. So it's nice to be relatable, and I feel for all you guys too that are going through this kind of stuff. So that's it. Again, it's still a journey. It's still going to be an ongoing journey. It's still taking it day by day and seeing how this goes. I know this whole surgery was still basically cancer related. It was to cut the cancer out of me, but I'm still in a weird place that I don't think about the cancer a lot anymore. Maybe because the cancer is out, my margins were clear, so in my mind I'm cancer free. But it's more about like the surgery. I feel more like this is surgery related. It's just surgery. It's not cancer related. It's like surgery related. I'm healing from surgery. I'm healing from being cut open, and more about that in my mind, more about the healing. So it'll become more real again, I think, in a week or so. I've got the appointment with the oncologist. So again, that will also give me a plan moving forward of how this all works, because I don't know how the future of this works. Again, I've heard, I've read other stuff about like every 3 months you get scans, at least for a while. I don't think they go every 6 months, and maybe they can bump it up to that point. And I know it goes for 5 years. So hopefully I'll get more of a plan on that. I'll, in my head of what's going to be happening in my life for the future. So at this point in time, I'm still just trying to heal my body. Doing the healing thoughts, laying on my hands, healing the body, praying, meditating, gathering all your prayers again to help cover my body in the healing light, which again I just appreciate so much. So I thank you, and on that note, I hope you guys are doing really well. Keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye bye.